Record-breaking NFL trade deadline today. Get ready for some yapping. Starting with this absolute monster right here. The Indianapolis Colts, who have one of the best records in the NFL, 7-2, just got Sauce Gardner. The Jets get Adonai Mitchell, a 2026 first, and a 2027 first. This is a massive trade. Top comment, Adonai Mitchell went to sleep 7-2 and woke up 1-7. Yeah, I think a lot of people were like, oh my God, Sauce Gardner just went from the 1-7 Jets to 7-2 Colts. How sick is that for him? The other end of it is Adonai Mitchell just got traded to absolutely the worst team in the NFL. The Jets also traded Quinnen Williams, which we're going to get to, but this is like the most obvious, hey, we're dog shit, we're tanking, let's rebuild, which is an excellent decision by the Jets. Why sit there and pay Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams if you have no shot at doing anything with them? You might as well stack up on picks. They could be the Oklahoma City Thunder of the NFL, as long as they keep trading and stop being the Jets. Sorry, I went too far with that comparison. But let's talk about this trade. I'm going to be honest. I actually think the Jets won this trade. That's my opinion. Now, it is true that I think in his first year, Sauce Gardner was really, really incredible. He hasn't been as good this year. It's been a difficult year for him, but you never really know with a player that's that good if, are they performing poorly because the entire organization is performing poorly? That's kind of what I believe. I would be willing to wager that Sauce Gardner is going to be really, really good on the Colts. He's going to get that extra step up. You know what it reminds me of is Saquon Barkley on the Giants. I remember when they traded him, there were a lot of Giants fans that were like, Saquon's washed. He's not that good anyway. We don't care. See ya. And then Saquon instantly is literal god on the Philadelphia Eagles. Interesting to see how Sauce Gardner plays here, but this was an incredible move by the Jets. I also think it was an incredible move by the Colts. The Colts are a very serious contender right now. Sauce Gardner is very clearly very good and will help on that defense. He would be an excellent addition to any single NFL team. But I almost agree here. I don't know that he's worth 2 firsts. I'm not sure. Sliding into a defense that is a cornerback away makes you sound so casual, my G, respectfully. Those 2 firsts are going to be deep playoff picks. They are early seconds. That is a good point. The 2026 first-round pick is already not a very high pick because the Colts are already 7-2. So even if they went ahead and lost every single game from here on out, it's still like a mid-round first-round pick. What the 2027 first-round pick will be, absolutely nobody can speculate on. You can say whatever you want about the Colts next season, but as we know in the National Football League, a team can look great, and you're pretty much always one injury away from your team sucking. That's what sucks about the NFL. It is a bummer. I mean, the Washington Commanders were amazing last year. This year, they pretty much haven't had Jaden Daniels the whole season. They're not going to have him for the rest of the season. They're probably going to suck this year, So it can happen. A lot of people are saying that, well, let me not say that. Let's actually go through these comments. Adonai Mitchell didn't deserve this. He really didn't. Win-win. I agree that it's a win-win. I still think the Jets won the trade. Did he just come from getting an extension? Yeah, that is the interesting thing. The Jets made Sauce Gardner the highest paid corner in the league and then traded him. Kind of bizarre. Colts playing Madden. We won the deal, but so brutal to read. I assume he means he's a Jets fan because I can't possibly know what that means. This is a trade I would do in Madden. This is actually a trade I would do in Madden. 100%. Colts are really going all in on Daniel Jones. I think the Jets got a very good package. Jets won. Colts understand the value of their window. It's hard to always plan for the next year when you already have the first seed set up. They're overpaying for a full send. It's not a bad idea. I agree with this. I think this is the best comment I've seen. I think it is an overpay for a full send because the only thing that matters in the NFL is winning the Super Bowl. No one gives a shit if your record's good. No one gives a shit if you make the playoffs all the time. You need to win the Super Bowl. So they're going all in to win the Super Bowl. I like it. And as far as the Jets are concerned, what does Sauce Gardner help you do? Maybe win a few extra games. Maybe build the core of a defense when the entire organization is up in flames. I think this was a good idea. Jets fleeced. We have zero idea who these draft picks will be. Zero. I mean, yeah, that's true always, though. We do know that it's 2 potential players to turn the organization around. I think it's a good trade. Overall, I think it's a good trade. It's kind of crazy that it occurred. Y'all are acting like the Jets are going to do anything with those picks. I mean, at least they're giving... Guys, we can hate on the Jets all we want. They're giving themselves a chance. I like that they're giving themselves a chance. All right, let's go on, though. That's not the only trade. There are tons and tons of trades. Trade alert. More New York Jets. The Cowboys get Quinnen Williams. The Jets get Mozzie Smith, a 2026 second, and a 2027 first. So the Jets just got 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick, and Mozzie Smith, and Adonai Mitchell out of Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner. This is some Madden-level shit, but I do think it was a very good call for the New York Jets. What I think is most interesting about this trade is you rarely see teams do this. You rarely see teams admit to themselves and to their organization that they're ass and that it's time to rebuild and sell all the franchise players. When I think of the New York Jets, you know who I think of? I think of Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, and Garrett Wilson. And 2 out of the 3 of those are gone. Now it's Garrett. I feel bad for Garrett Wilson. What about my boy Garrett Wilson? Shit. You know who I'm excited for, though? Quinnen Williams. The Cowboys are struggling right now. This was a very good decision by the Cowboys to go ahead and pick up Quinnen Williams. I love the acquisition. Quinnen's really, really solid. But he's not going to do anything with the Cowboys. They're ass right now. This isn't going to turn the Cowboys around. I'm excited for Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner has a very serious chance to win a Super Bowl. Last season, no chance. The season before that, no fucking chance. This season, probably for the first half of it, he knew he had no chance. And now this guy has a chance to win seriously has a chance to win a Super Bowl this year. Maybe even next year. That's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, Mozzie Smith, let's see what people are saying about this. Devin's Jets selling the house. Wait. Sorry, I read this wrong. It's a Devon Achane lover account. Unbelievable. Devon, Jets are selling the house Achane. The Jets have like 4 first-round picks right now. Is that bless you thing? Now, here's the thing. The Indianapolis Colts first-round picks, this one is for sure not that good. A Dallas Cowboys first-round pick, especially this year, that's going to be a nice-looking pick. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys just choked that game, the Arizona Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett and the Arizona Cardinals just whomped on them. This is going to be a very high pick. So this 2026 second-round pick is going to be a high second-rounder, so you're getting a late first, high second-round player. And who knows what the 2027 first-round pick is, but I certainly like the odds of this being a better pick. In fact, out of the 2, having a Cowboys first-round pick and a Colts first-round pick, the odds that one of those 2 is in the top 12, I feel pretty damn good about. I think the Jets are really setting themselves up. And now, this is what I was talking about that the Sauce Gardner extension. So he signs, in July, he signs a 4-year, $120 million deal, and now he's traded to the Colts. And one thing I saw from Adam Schefter that's really, really interesting about this is, so in 2025, 2026, it's relatively negligible, but in 2027, they save $24 million. This was a really good play. Someone responded with this: don't think people realize how much Rodgers decimated this team's cap situation with him and his buddies. He brought so much dead cap space, they essentially had no choice but to clean house. I think it's kind of hilarious that this guy is blaming Aaron Rodgers for getting paid. The Jets organization chose to pay Aaron Rodgers, and then they let him go over to Pittsburgh. That's not Aaron Rodgers' fault, but whatever. Regardless, it was a good play for cap space as well. I don't know the high-level details of cap space, but saving $24 million in 2027 after you get all those draft picks, that sounds pretty nice. Jets fans, it's probably not bright right now or next year or even the year after that, but there is light at the end of a damn long tunnel, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So the Jets now have 2 2026 first-rounders, 2 2026 second-rounders, and 3 2027 first-rounders. I mean, even a blind monkey can throw a dart at a dartboard and eventually fucking hit something, right? I'm pretty sure there's an actual saying somewhere intertwined in the mumbo-jumbo I just said, but even a homosexual clock is straight twice a day. That's the one I'm looking for. Here's another one. The Cowboys are reportedly trading for Bengals linebacker Logan Wilson. Cincinnati will receive a 7th-round pick. I mean, Logan Wilson is worth a 7th-round pick. Logan Wilson's solid. Goodbye, USA. Hello, Hawaii. From the 32nd to the 31st ranked defense. Went to sleep 3-6, woke up 3-5-1. It is marginally better. You can hate all you want. It is marginally better. Maybe he's the answer to getting them to the 30th ranked defense. You got Logan Wilson now. You got Quinnen Williams. How do we tell him? How do we tell him? Well, for a 7th round pick, I guess it is an upgrade. I mean, I agree. Are you really going to get a Logan Wilson caliber linebacker in the 7th rounder ever? I don't think so. I think it's a good trade. It's easy to shit on these teams. It's easy to shit on the Dallas Cowboys. You know, they're just such a big punching bag, but I like this. Some of these are a little less interesting, but Ravens trading for Titans edge rusher Draymond Jones. It's a conditional 5th round pick. I mean, anything that the Titans can get for anybody is great, and I understand what Baltimore is doing. Baltimore is in a tricky spot where Lamar just came back, but they're not winning. Like, Lamar just came back, but they're not ready to win yet. So adding anybody and just giving themselves the best chance to make a huge second half of the season push and still make the playoffs makes sense. Yeah, the Eagles. Wow, I mean, I didn't get to fully talk about this because these weren't exactly on trade deadline day, like the final day, but they got Jair Alexander from the Ravens. They got Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins. They got Michael Carter II as a corner, not Michael Carter, the running back. And Brandon Graham is back. So, yeah. This is a team that is willing to do whatever it takes to win. Unlike Jerry Jones, we have the best offense, but dude doesn't want to make any moves. Yeah, Jerry Jones is a big certified cornball. I mean, this guy learned maybe 12 hours later that the Dallas Cowboys certainly made a lot of moves. Moving Mazi Smith, getting Quinnen Williams. So, I mean, maybe he's eating his words here, but not really, because I don't know. I mean, they got Logan Wilson and Quinnen Williams, so we'll see. This was that trade, by the way, for Jalen Phillips. The Eagles got Jalen Phillips, and the Dolphins got a 3rd round pick. You know, Jalen Phillips, he was one of the, bright spots on Miami. I'm kind of shocked that they traded him. It's a similar thing to what the Jets were doing, but what the Jets were doing was, these massive blockbuster trades. Getting a single 3rd round pick, I don't know. This guy said this is a win for the Eagles. If he doesn't re-sign, we'll get a 3rd round comp for him in the draft. We basically got him for nothing. And a few more things to cover here. So the Saints traded Trevor Penning to the Chargers for a 2027 6th round pick. Maybe I don't know offensive linemen well enough, but I thought Trevor Penning was pretty good. I thought he'd be worth more than a 6th round pick. The walking penalty flag is now on the Chargers. They needed O-line help with Alt down and Slater gone. Yeah, I think Joe Alt is out for the season with ankle surgery, so it was clear the Chargers needed to get an offensive lineman. Trading a 1st round pick for a future 6th. That's some masterful asset management right there. Well, yeah, because I was going to say Trevor Penning was a 1st rounder. Well, just because Trevor Penning was a 1st rounder doesn't mean he's still playing at 1st round talent caliber, but I do think that the Chargers win this trade. A 6th round pick for Trevor Penning? And this is why you gotta love a guy like Adam Schefter, because he puts it nice and simple for you. Final 2025 trade tally. This is October and November. So Trevor Penning to the Chargers, we just talked about that one. Sauce Gardner to Indianapolis, probably the biggest one. That sends Adonai Mitchell to the Jets. Sorry, Adonai Mitchell, that blows. Quinnen Williams is now in Dallas. Mazi Smith is now with the Jets. Rashid Shaheed to Seattle. I did not see that. That's an interesting one. I'm actually shocked that Seattle was even interested in, well, I guess I get it. Jackson Smith and Jigba can't do everything for that team. And Rashid Shaheed's I like Rashid Shaheed a lot. I'm kind of excited to see how he functions in a much more optimal offense than the Saints. Jacoby Myers, he was one of my favorite fantasy sleeper players, but he went over to Jacksonville Jaguars. Jalen Phillips is now at the Philadelphia Eagles. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka is headed to the Chicago Bears. Draymond Jones, we talked about that, to the Ravens. Logan Wilson to the Cowboys. Jair Alexander to Philly. Michael Carter II, the corner, to Philly. John Mechie to the Jets. That's a name I haven't heard of a lot. John Mechie was talked up a lot in college. I haven't seen too much out of him in the pros. And now he's on the Jets, so I probably won't. Bummer. Keon White's in San Fran. Kyle Duggar is now in Pittsburgh. Wow. I didn't know that. Roger McCreary is now with the Rams. Greg Newsome. So Jacksonville actually made some serious moves. Jacksonville went and got Jacoby Myers, went and got Greg Newsome. Tyson Campbell's with Cleveland. Odafe Owe with the Chargers. Already knew that one. Alohi Gilman. And then Joe Flacco. We knew Joe Flacco. This was just bonkers, too. A franchise that I'm really excited for the future of and want to see a lot out of is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not only do the Jacksonville Jaguars have a really solid roster and record right now, kind of outperforming what a lot of people expected, they also have Travis Hunter. Say whatever you want about Travis Hunter. That is one of the most talented players to walk into the National Football League. They also have 13 fucking picks, bro. They have 13 picks in the 2026 NFL Draft. Now it's not first rounders, but 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 7. That's crazy. So hopefully the Jaguars are doing a ton of scouting with this draft class and really utilizing these. I feel like, you know, it'd be such a bummer. You know, when a draft class is just kind of a dud draft class and it's like that draft class sucks. What if it was this one? God, that would suck. But, you know, by the same totem, if this was a very talented draft class, oh boy, you could get some very serious talent out of this. Jacksonville could actually be kind of nice. Here's an interesting one. Now we got to talk about the what ifs, right? Despite getting calls for Jalen Waddle and Bradley Chubb, the Miami Dolphins did not make another deal before the deadline and opted to hold on to both. Unfortunately, none of the other 31 NFL teams were willing to trade their head coach for a wide receiver and a D-end. You know, it is kind of crazy to watch the Jets do what they did and think like as brutal as that must have been, it's probably the right call. I got to imagine the Dolphins should have done the same thing. I really do. I really got to imagine they should have done the same thing, but I can see keeping Jalen Waddle because he's good and he's young and Tyreek's probably out. So I can see keeping Jalen Waddle, but if you're already getting rid of Jalen Phillips and you're kind of overpaying on Bradley Chubb, if I'd have Bradley Chubb out of there. I guess we're going to find out. As expected, Eagles wide receiver AJ Brown has not been and will not be traded by today's deadline. I think this is the most media hype story that exists in the NFL right now. This is kind of my conspiracy theory, but everyone seems to think AJ Brown hates Philadelphia and he hates this and he hates that and he wants out. I don't think so. He's just a diva. The guy wants the ball every single play. Philadelphia's offense doesn't lean towards that. He just won a Super Bowl. I don't know. The only comparison I can think of is when Kyrie Irving wanted out of Cleveland after literally winning that ring with LeBron and Kevin Love. I mean, maybe that is what's going out of here. Maybe A.J. Brown is being Kyrie, and he wants to be the guy, he wants to be the star, and he'd rather have more targets than winning Super Bowls. But I don't think that's the case. I feel bad for A.J. He's a Ferrari, and his quarterback is a Ford Ranger. This is insane rage bait, and I'm not biting. I'm not biting on that shit. Sky is blue. Agreed. It was financially impossible to trade him. Even then, I don't know that they would have. Shit, he just won a Super Bowl. Patriots fans thought they were going to end up with A.J. Brown on their team at the deadline. All right, Yap session concluded. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was actually really fun to make. You've got memes tomorrow, and then, I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. You're so handsome. Have an awesome day. Peace.